Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we are going to take a sutta which is giving the overall training method of the Buddha. Okay. So this will is a comprehensive kind of training. It is Ganaka Moggallana It is 107 Majjhima Nikāya. This sutta is emphasizing the gradual nature of training. Okay, how step by step the training is progressing. The Buddha is speaking to Ganaka Moggallana. Some of the commentaries mentioned that Ganaka Moggallana was an accountant or the treasurer of the king. So he was into accounting. That Ginna we say in Hindi. So Ganaka Moggallana. So it is maybe related to the counting factor. Thus have I heard, on one occasion the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in the eastern park in the palace of Megara's mother. Now you would be kind of surprised to see the name Palace of Megara's mother. Now there is as I mentioned yesterday, there is a monk kind of a humor in this also. There was a lay follower, a lady, Veshaka. She was a devout follower of the Buddha and was a Sotapanna. And she was serving food to his father-in-law. And the father-in-law was a very miserly person, but very rich, but miserly. So there was a monk who came on the doorstep and stood silently. So he thought that they will share some food with him. So what the father-in-law did was he ignored the monk. Then Veshaka was seeing what was happening. Then she told the monk, don't worry, you can go to another house. He is eating stale food. So his father-in-law got angry and he said, why are you saying that I am eating stale food? This is the fresh food. In the king's palace also you cannot get this food. So Veshaka said that you have got this because of your past karmic, good karmic actions. This food you have got. So that is the reason these are stale food. If you make dana now, then you will get the food in the next lifetime. And you will get the benefit of it. So he was very kind of impressed by this explanation. Then he said that you are my mother. So that is the reason they used to kind of call her Megara's mother. So Megara was actually her father-in-law. Now where is the palace coming in? Once she went to meet the Buddha. And she had a very expensive necklace she was wearing. She said it is bad to go to the Buddha with wearing jewelry. So I'll keep the jewelry at one outside the monastery. There is one place. I'll just put the jewelry over there. And when we come back, we will take the jewelry. When she went to the Buddha, she talked to the Buddha, she was very kind of inspired, and then she just forgot about the jewelry. Then what happened is she asked her servant to go and check on the jewelry. The jewelry was not there. Then she went inside the monastery and said, the jewelry is not there. They said that Sariputta came and said, somebody had found this thing and we have it, you take it back. And then Veshaka said, no, if they have found it, they can keep the jewelry. Then the Sariputta said that no, we cannot keep the jewelry because we don't deal in any gems or gold or silver. So what she did was, she took the jewelry, auctioned it off, and with that money, she got a lot of money. There's mentions of money in the kind of commentaries. She said all this money will go in the construction of a monastery. At that time, they made a monastery which was 7 stories tall. 7 stories at that time. That was fully made in wood. So that is the reason they used to call it Megara's mother's palace. So that is how the name came for this monastery. Then the Brahmin Ganaka Moggallana went to the Blessed One and exchanged greetings with him. When this courteous and amiable talk was finished, he sat down to one side and said to the Blessed One, Master Gautama, in this palace of Megara's mother, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress. That is down to the last step of the staircase. That's the reason staircase is mentioned, because it is multi-story building. Among these Brahmins too, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress. That is in study. Among archers too, there can be seen gradual training, that is in archery. And also among accountants like us, we earn our living by accountancy. There can be seen gradual training, that is in computation. For when we get an apprentice, first we make him count 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5, 6 6, 7 7s, 8 8s, 9 9s, 10 10s, and we make him count 100 too. That means the tables, the tables they were mentioning over there. Now it is also possible, Master Gautama, to describe gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress in this Dhamma and discipline. So he is asking, every discipline there is a gradual training and gradual process. So how do you explain your training? It is possible, Brahmin, to describe gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress in this Dhamma and discipline. Just as, Brahmin, when a clever horse trainer obtains a fine thoroughbred colt, he first makes him get used to wearing the bit and afterward trains him further. So there is a sutta where this has been mentioned. So we will read what the horse trainer does. Okay. So this is the same thing in the other sutta. It is Badalli. Suppose a clever horse trainer obtains a fine thoroughbred clod. He first makes him get used to wearing the bit, while the colt is being made to get used to wearing the bit, because he is doing something that he never done before. He displays some contortion, withering, and vacillation. But through constant repetition and gradual practice, he becomes peaceful in that action. That is the reason what he is saying, that your mind also, when we are training this, has never done this practice. That is the reason initially it will kind of give you hindrances. It will kind of resist what is happening. When the colt has become peaceful in that action, the horse trainer further makes him get used to wearing the harness. While the colt is being made to get used to wearing the harness, because he is doing something that he has never done before, he displays some contortion, wriggling, and vacillation. But through constant repetition and gradual practice, he becomes peaceful in that action. When the colt has become peaceful in that action, the horse trainer further makes him act in keeping in step, in running in a circle, in prancing, in galloping, in charging, in the kingly qualities, in the kingly heritage, in the highest speed, in the highest fleetiness, in the highest gentleness. While the colt is being made to get used to doing these things, because he is doing something that he has never done before, he displays some contortion, wriggling, and vacillation. But through constant repetition and gradual practice, he becomes peaceful in those actions. When the colt has become peaceful, In those actions, the horse trainer further rewards him with a rubbing down, a grooming. When a fine thoroughbred colt possesses these 10 factors, he is worthy of the king, in the king's service, and considered one of the factors of the king. So in this way, when a young horse is brought and trained, then he can become worthy of the king. So when the Tathagata obtains a person to be tamed, he first disciplines him thus. Come, student, be virtuous, restrained with the restraint of the Patimokha. Patimokha is the monk rules. What you get are precepts. So you get precepts like 5 precepts or 6 precepts we give for your daily life. For over here we gave you 8 precepts. So these are the training rules. Be perfect in conduct and resort, and seeing fear in the slightest fault, trained by undertaking the training precepts. So, when we are giving you the precepts, then you have to follow the precepts to the T. When when Brahmin, the student, is virtuous and seeing fear in the slightest fault, trains by undertaking the training precepts, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, student, guard the doors of your sense faculties. On seeing a form with the eye, do not grasp at its signs and features, since if you were to leave the eye faculty unguarded, evil, unwholesome states of covetousness and grief might invade you. Practice the way of its restraint. Guard the eye faculty. Undertake the restraint of the eye faculty. So in the same way, you guard the eye, you guard the ear, nose, tongue, the body and the mind. Okay? So all these things, the Buddha is saying that you have to be careful at what you look at. You have to be careful at what you hear. You have to be careful at what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, and what you think about. So everything you have to be careful. Because if you don't be careful, then you can go and get into the unwholesome states of mind. That is the reason he says that you have to be careful in all this. Since if you were to leave the mind faculty unguarded, evil, unwholesome states might invade you. Practice the way of its restraint. Guard the mind faculty. Undertake the restraint of the mind faculty. When Brahmin, the student, guards the doors of his sense faculties, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, student, be moderate in eating. Reflecting wisely, you should take food neither for amusement, nor for intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuance of this body, for ending discomfort, and for assisting the holy life, considering thus I shall terminate old feeling without arousing new feeling. I shall be healthy and blameless and shall live in comfort. So you see that in food also you have to just use the food for keeping the body healthy and to function. And that is the chanting we do before we have food. Pati Sankha Yoinuso Pati Sevami. That is what we are saying is that this is the, we take this food just for our own body, to keep it healthy and to help with the holy life. So that is what the Buddha is saying, that after that you have to restrain your eating. When the Brahmin, the student, is moderate in eating, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, student, be devoted to wakefulness. During the day, while walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. In the first watch of the night, while walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. So, Buddha is saying that in the day and in the night, you have to be mindful of how your mind is there. Where is your mind? Where is your mind's attention is there? You have to be mindful of that. You should not let your mind just go to whatever thoughts are coming. Purifying the mind means just the 6 hours. When there is an unwholesome thought, you recognize it, you release it, relax it, re-smile and return. That is just purifying the mind. Because your mind has unwholesome thought, it is impure. If you release your attention from it, relax, re-smile and come back, your mind does not have that impure thought. So that is, your mind is purified. So it is a simple act of doing the 6R. Purify your mind of obstructive states. In the middle of the watch of the night, you should lie down on the right side in the lion's pose with one foot overlapping the other, mindful and aware, after noting in your mind the time for arising. So this is also one of the things you can do from tomorrow, is noting the time of your waking up. This way you can kind of know how the instructions you are giving to yourself, your mind is following. This will also help you in the future when you are doing determinations. This is advanced practice. You do determinations, adhitthana we say. So that it can help. So whenever, so from tomorrow you start, everybody start kind of giving yourself a time to get up. So if you are getting up at 5, put the time as say 4:58. You can give one day the time is 4:58 and try and hit that time. Once you hit that time, change the time. Then make it say 5:49 or 5:01. Every day when you hit that time which you have assigned yourself, then you can change it by a few minutes to see if your mind is following your instructions. When you are regularly kind of hitting that time, then it will help you keep this determinations. When you are determining something, then your mind will follow the instructions. So this is one of the things Bhante kind of used to tell us in every kind of retreat. So this is a part I think I forgot on the first day. I should have given these instructions.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the approximate time of the first and the middle watch?
I think the first watch is till midnight, and the middle, I think the middle watch is, I think in the middle of the watch is that midnight, so after midnight, till midnight is the first watch, then after midnight, that would be about approximately 4 o'clock, 4 hours. Huh? 8 to 12? Huh. So actually Buddha is asking you to, means his disciples at least, who are monks, to sleep for 4 hours. So if you go to any long retreats in Burma, then they will ask you to only sleep for 4 hours. Bhante Vimal Ramsi was there in one long retreat. He was asked to sleep only for 2 hours. And that is very exhausting for the body. He was a big person, but he kind of said that I tripled my food intake, but still I was skin and bones after the retreat. So he used to do a lot of 3-month retreats, and then he has done, I think, 1 8-month or 2 8-month retreats. 8 months, the whole 20 hours you have to do meditation, no talking, nothing. And then he has done 2-year retreat. 2 complete year in retreat. So he has done a lot of retreats, and he says that what we are giving you the time is kind of is a walk in the park. We were getting 7 hours in the night and 1 hour after lunch. So you have a lot of time, and it is very easy for you. He has made it very easy for you. So you, whatever time you get, you should practice. Huh? Oh, so I thought that yesterday I had spoken, then it would have been better. No, everybody remembered to talk then, but it has an opposite effect. So please don't kind of talk. We have still days with us, 4 full days of meditation practice, and that can kind of change your mind, because even if you think that you have done good, very good, you can still do much better in this next 4 days. Many people have done very good, but in this next 4 days you may be amazed at how good you can do, because your mind is also gradually adjusting. So talking kind of disturbs your mind and kind of misleads you into different things. That is the reason Buddha said before this that you have to be careful of your sense faculties. So you have to be careful of your eyes, ears, and your speech also. Okay, so be careful and don't talk. While walking and back and forth sitting, purifying your mind of obstructive state. When Brahmin, student is devoted to wakefulness, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come student, be possessed of mindfulness and full awareness. Now this which is instructions which are there are the main instructions for Satipatthana Sutta. So if you consider Satipatthana Sutta as one of the most important suttas, in that most important sutta, this is the most important teachings. And this is how, if you can do this, then the Buddha says that you may get awakened even within 7 days. Okay, so it is a very important kind of instructions. Come student, be possessed of mindfulness and full awareness. Act in full awareness when going forward and returning. Act in full awareness when looking ahead and looking away. Act in full awareness when flexing and extending your limbs. Act in full awareness when wearing your robes and carrying your outer robe and bowl. Act in full awareness when eating, drinking, consuming food and tasting. Act in full awareness when defecating, urinating. Act in full awareness when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking and keeping silent. So full awareness of what? Full awareness of how your mind's attention is behaving. Okay, is it going to the unwholesome things or is it staying on your object of meditation? So full awareness of what Buddha is asking is the full awareness of your mind's attention. So your mind should not be in full, that is unwholesome thoughts. It should be only on your object of meditation. That is a wholesome object. When you are sending metta to your spiritual friend, or you are sending metta to the direction. When walking also, you have to radiate in all directions. When you get up, that is not the kind of, when you get up, you have to keep your meditation going, because you then take this meditation to your walking meditation. Then when walking also, you are radiating to the directions. So while doing any activity, you are keeping your awareness and making sure that your mind does not go here and there. Okay, so that is an important factor of your development of your mind. It's an important training tool. So now, as many people are there in directions, that is to be followed. Okay, that everybody has to be silent first of all, and then be careful of your mind's attention, that it does not go here or there. When Brahmin, the student, possesses full mindfulness and full awareness, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, a student, resort to a secluded resting place. Why a secluded resting place? That there is no much interaction. That is the reason, a secluded resting place. The forest, the root of a tree, a mountain, a ravine, a hillside cave, a charnel ground, a jungle thicket, an open space, a heap of straw. So Buddha is asking his students to go to a place where they can be alone. So when we are there in this retreat, we can be alone. How we can be alone? What is the easiest way to be alone in a retreat place? Silence. By not talking to others, not interacting with others. When we are silent, then we can be alone. So that is how you can use the noble silence to kind of enhance your practice. He resorts to a secluded resting place, the forest, a heap of straw. On returning from his alms round, after his meal, he sits down, folding his legs, crossing, setting his body erect and establishing mindfulness before him. Abandoning covetousness for the world, he abides with a mind free from covetousness. He purifies his mind from covetousness. Abandoning ill will and hatred, he abides with a mind free of ill will. Compassionate for the welfare of all living beings, he purifies his mind from ill will and hatred. Abandoning sloth and torpor, he abides free of sloth and torpor. Prescient of light, mindful and fully aware, he purifies his mind from sloth and torpor. Abandoning restlessness and remorse, he abides unagitated with a mind inwardly peaceful. He purifies his mind from restlessness and remorse. Abandoning doubt, he abides having gone beyond doubt, unperplexed about wholesome states. He purifies his mind from doubt. So, then what he does is he tries to remove the 5 hindrances from his mind. And how do you remove the 5 hindrances from our mind? Is by constantly doing the 6 R's. When you recognize there is any of these states are there is any sensual desire is there, you 6 are that. If there is ill will is there, you 6 are that. If there is sloth and torpor, you can 6 are that. If there is restlessness, that also you can let go. And if there is doubt, then also doubt is about is this a wholesome state or not. So you are aware now with the training that what are wholesome states and what is not. What is wholesome is your object of meditation, which is the Brahma Viharas. So any state you are there in, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha, you stay with that. And if there is anything else, that is considered a hindrance. So you 6 are the hindrance and be with the wholesome. Having thus abandoned these 5 hindrances, imperfections of the mind, that weaken wisdom, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome state, he enters upon and abides in the first jhana. So again this jhana is mentioned. So the practice of the Buddha leads to the understanding, the level of understanding. That is the reason the jhanas are mentioned again and again. So he again goes through the same process of going to the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana and fourth jhana. This way he progresses in his meditation. This is my instruction, Brahmin, to those students who are in the higher training, whose mind have not yet attained the goal, who abide aspiring to the supreme security from bondage. But these things conclude both to a pleasant abiding here and now and to mindfulness and full awareness of those students who are arhants, with taints destroyed. So even if you are an arhant, the Buddha says that you can stay mindful and in the same state, and that will be means that will kind of lead to your pleasant abiding here and now. So even if you are a student or even if you are an arahant, this way you can live your life and this will be for your pleasant abiding. You will have a good life. Who are arahants with taints destroyed, who have lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached their final goal, destroyed the fetters of being, and are completely liberated through final knowledge. When this was said, Brahmin Ganaka Moggallana asked the Blessed One, when Master Gautama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, do they all attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, or do some not attain it? When Brahmin, they are thus advised and instructed by me, some of my disciples attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. So Buddha says that some attain it and some do not attain it. We will give an explanation, he gives an explanation later. So, Master Gautama, since Nibbana exists and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and Master Gautama is present as the guide. What is the cause and reason why, when Master Gautama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it? As to that, Brahmin, I will ask you a question in return. Answer it as you choose. What do you think, Brahmin? Are you familiar with the road leading to Rajgaha? Yes, Master Gautama, I am familiar with the road leading to Rajgaha. What do you think, Brahmin? Suppose a man came who wanted to go to Rajgaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable sir, I want to go to Rajgaha. Show me the road to Rajgaha. Then you told him, now good man, this road goes to Rajgaha. Follow it for a while and you will see a certain village. Go a little further and you will see a certain town. Go a little further and you will see Rajgaha with its lovely parks, groves, meadows and ponds. Then, having been thus advised and instructed by you, he would take a wrong road, would go to the west. Then a second man who came, who wanted to go to Rajgaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable sir, I want to go to Rajgaha. Show me the road to Rajgaha. Then you told him, now good man, this road goes to Rajgaha. So he gives the whole instruction once again. Then, having been thus advised and instructed by you, he would arrive safely in Rajgaha. Now, Brahmin, since Rajgaha exists and the path leading to Rajgaha exists, and you are present as the guide, what is the cause and reason why, when those men have been thus advised and instructed by you, one takes a wrong road and goes to the west, and one arrives safely in Rajgaha? What can I do about that, Master Gautama? I am one who shows the way. So too, Brahmin, Nibbana exists and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and I am present as the guide. Yet when my disciples have been thus advised and instructed by me, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. What can I do about that, Brahmin? The Tathagata is one who shows the way. So in the same way, we can give instruction to you, but it is for you to follow the instruction. If you do not follow the instruction, you talk when you want to talk, and you want to rest when you want to rest, work when you want to work, then the progress will be accordingly. Okay, so but if you follow the instructions, the time we have set for meditation, you do the meditation, the time which is there for rest, you rest, then you will, and then follow the instructions also. Then what would happen is you will progress. As I have told before also, that if like a chicken sits on the eggs, and even if they does not have a thought that this egg should hatch and the chicks should come out, but the eggs will hatch and the chicks will come out because the action has been done of sitting. The hen has done the action. So in the same way, if you follow the instruction, even if you did not have the thought that I would progress, then also I see many people who don't even know what this whole process is, but they do progress because they follow the instructions. They come and say, okay, what I am supposed to do, I did not know this was what I was supposed to do. Why? Because they have followed the instruction and their mind has automatically developed and gone to the next, and we have not even described what will be coming next. And in this retreat itself, I am not talking about theoretical thing, or here people have come and spoken to us and, oh, okay, this I have to do now, okay. So why is that? Because they are following the instructions. So in the same way, the Tathagata can only show the way, and it is for us to follow the instruction. It is for us to follow the path. You still have time. You still have this monastery which is there, their rooms are there, hall is there. So you should meditate. Do not waste your time. Okay? So this is, then he kind of praises the Buddha, and in the last thing, he kind of says a standard phrase or a passage that is kind of, Bhante used to say that that passage is a kind of indication that the person has reached Sotapanna. So I'll read that passage. Magnificent Master Gautama, magnificent Master Gautama, Master Gautama has made the Dhamma clear in many ways, as though he were turning upright what has been overturned, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see forms. I go to Master Gautama for refuge, to the Dhamma and to the Sangha of the Bhikkhus. Let Master Gautama remember me as a lay follower who has gone to him for the refuge for life. So, he praises the Buddha for the way he is teaching, and he becomes a follower of the Buddha. So, in this way, there are many instances where people have come and spoken to the Buddha and have started following the Buddha. But there has been many instances in this Majjhima Nikāya itself where the people have come, spoken to the Buddha, agreed with him, but have not followed the Buddha. Okay, so it is not always that the people who kind of even agree with Buddha follow the Buddha, because there is certain things which kind of hinder them. So don't be like that, you have come over here, you have been given the instruction, follow the instructions. If you follow the instructions, there will be progress, definitely. Okay, and then there is, to start off, there is one question. Can you please emphasize forgiveness process, meditation, to get rid of unwholesome emotions of self, others? So see, the forgiveness meditation is something which Bhante Vimal Ramsi, kind of our teacher, was very kind of positive on. He said that it is the most powerful tool in the meditation toolkit. Okay, so as we saw in yesterday's discourse, the Buddha says that this Dhamma is can be used as a raft to cross over the other shore. In the same way, the meditation of forgiveness is used to remove some blockages which is there. Certain times when some guilt is there in your mind, or there is a burden, or there is something you are holding on to, like a memory of somebody who has wronged you. Those things may not be defined, or they may not be clearly kind of spelled out by you. But those things may be like energies which are there, they may be there in your mind. Okay? So if those things are there, okay, then if you do the forgiveness meditation, those energies dissipate. The forgiveness has only two factors. One is forgiving ourselves for not understanding. Because why not understanding? Because everything starts with ignorance. As we have gone through this dependent origination, the whole process, we see that it is starting with ignorance, not knowing. Not knowing one does harm to others. Not knowing one does harm to ourselves. So, I forgive myself for not understanding. Then if you have somebody who comes up in your mind, then you say, I forgive you for not understanding. By forgiving the other person who has come up, maybe there was some energies which was there, and that energy kind of dissipate. After that, what happens? The meditation changes. The quality of the meditation changes. Because those things which you are holding on to, that you have given up. While you have given up that, then the true kind of the power of the meditation kind of reveals itself. And then there is a sea change on your meditation. So that is the reason the forgiveness meditation is very important. And this is a meditation my teacher has done for a long time. He was on forgiveness meditation for 2 years. And Sister Kema has done that for 6 months. He's a kind of senior student. She has done that for 6 months. So it has a very profound effect on a person. So when we are asking you to do this, it is not something like you are regressing or you are not progressing or something like that. This is asked as a kind of means of, skillful means of dealing with something which has come up. So it's just a skillful means of dealing with what has come up, and it is just a tool. Like this meditation is also a tool to reach to wisdom, and that the meditation also helps you reach wisdom, that helps you reach clarity. So that meditation of forgiveness, whenever we are giving, we do it sincerely, and that will definitely help. Okay, and is there any questions?
In the interview today that we had, if I remember correctly, I gave an example about having a long sit and feeling at some point some strong pain. And I believe you said better to get up and walk for a while and then come back than to just move the leg. Can you elucidate on why not just move the leg and continue
Sitting? Because see, when we are doing a instruction to the, we are giving an instruction to the mind, you know, when we are saying that when we are putting our attention over here on the object of meditation, we are giving our instruction to the mind. What happens is that there are certain hindrances which comes up. That means that there are certain things which are cravings. So that craving is trying to pull our attention away. So initially what happens is this craving kind of pulls us away, we recognize, release, relax and return back. After a time, there are gross levels of those hindrances which have gone away. Then subtle levels of hindrances come up. So your dislike for pain is there, your boredom is there, all those things which are subtle things will come up. And when you kind of obey their instructions, then what you do is you give them legitimacy. And when those things are given legitimacy, they will keep on becoming stronger and coming back. So if there is a kind of a pain, the mind says that if I give this person pain, then he will move. Then that would become your very grave hindrance, because anytime the mind wants to move you, it will give you pain.
So what is the difference of giving it legitimacy by standing up and walking or moving the leg?
So till the time you can sit, okay, you sit as long as possible, and if you are not able to do that, then you get up, okay. But what is happening is, if you are moving that thing, then you are making it part of your meditation. That is the danger in that.
So when you get up, then
you have ended that cycle, and then you can come back and deal with that once again. But if you kind of make it a part of the this thing, it will distort the meditation. And instructions, I will tell you from my own personal experience. When I started to do Bante's instruction, I was in Thailand, in Wat Pah Nanachat. I was doing one of those, I did the Vipassana meditation. I really had some hindrances because I had some experiences in Vipassana, and I was constantly trying to get back to that experience. They call it bhang or something like that. That I really experienced that experience, you know. My body was not there, it was free flowing and what not. I had that experience. I was constantly wanting to get back to that experience, and I had headaches and everything. So I kind of investigated on YouTube, and I found one of the YouTubes of Bante. But he was talking about Anapanasati. That time he still taught Anapanasati. It was a Vietnamese temple, I think so. I just took that instruction with me as an audio file when I had gone to Thailand, and I did not have any other instructions. So then I switched to trying to do 6R. But I was what I was doing is, I was just in breath I was doing Anapanasati, but in breath I was relaxed, out breath I was relax. I was to not let go of that hindrance, you know. It is recognize, release, relax, re-smile and return, not like that. I used to only relax, relax, relax. I did that for 1.5 years. I had a good sits. I was sitting for 3 hours. I had many good meditation experiences because I was making it one-pointed concentration with relaxed step. And because I was not following the 6 hours properly for 1.5 years, I did not progress. So that is very important. That is the reason we say follow the instructions very precisely. If you do not follow the instructions, you will not progress. After that, when I came, I did one online course with David, and then I went to Bali. And Bali, I really progressed, and I really saw all those states. And then I realized that, oh, the whole time, 1.5 years, I did not progress because I was not doing the 6 hours properly. That's the reason I always repeat again the 6-hour process, because if you are not doing it properly, then you may get some relief from the stress, and that may kind of elongate your sitting. Your mind may kind of go into one-pointedness also, but you will not kind of understand. And that is why how you progress, by understanding. Because your aim is not to kind of sit, but to kind of learn from how your mind is kind of controlling you. So that is the reason a precise instruction following is very important. And I have faced it for myself, so I know that it can be a big thing for a long time. And I know the one-pointedness also, how it is attractive, because it can give wonderful experiences. Wonderful experiences I have received in that. Many of the times I could sleep the whole night with full awareness of even the dreams. The dreams would come, they would go, I would be there in sleep, again the dream would come, it would go, I would be there in the sleep. And when I get up, I would be so refreshed that no sleep which I have got till that time, I was so refreshed. I could work the whole day. They had many of the work days in Vatpanancha. They actually love to kind of keep us busy. So there was a lot of experiences which I had while doing this meditation, because it was going into one-pointed meditation. I was sitting the longest among the seniors also. I used to sit for 3 hours in meditation over there. So, but the understanding of the mind was not there, because I was not kind of letting that process be, like by recognizing, releasing, relaxing, re-smiling and coming back. I was not giving that space for me to understand my mind's movement. When you are not trying to kind of decipher this, then you are just going into one-pointedness. So when you are knowing, this mind's attention moves from here to there, then you are learning from it. Then you are learning about your attachments also. Then you are letting it go. Then you are kind of progressing. Because all this progress is just your understanding. As you do any level of practice, what is happening is you are progressing in your mind by understanding, letting that thing go, and then the next level of hindrances come, and next level of hindrances come, and then there are subtle hindrances are there. There are attachments, then there are sometimes the fear comes up, oh, am I dying? I am getting dissolved. All these things are also a very high level of kind of attachment to the identity. So I'll take one of these days the question answers suttas. Those are also very kind of interesting. So this identity which is there kind of wants to be like this. And sometimes when you are in higher meditation, that gets this thing. And Bhante also used to get a lot of call when he was there in Bali. The second year I went as a monk to Bhante's this thing, and they got a call. This person thinks he's going to die. So Bhante says, okay, forget about that, he's not going to die. So that is because when you go higher and higher, you have subtle and subtler hindrances are there. There is an ego which kind of thinks that it is going to die. Then he kind of throws a tantrum. So there are subtle things which are coming up. And that is the reason there are subtle things like in which some people don't know. The story I told about the monk, he had no unwholesome thoughts, but he had attachments which he had not let go. That is the reason the deity came and said that, go, there is a Buddha there, only he can kind of teach you to get rid of those things. And when you think about the fetters also, the 5 fetters of the Anagami are like to become. to become a being or become a non-being like a deva or something like that. Those subtle thoughts are there. And I never knew that there is a deva or something like that. And I said, no, I would never have that. But now I understand that deeper, 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 we have been there for a long time. Like he said, that there are certain things he can do. How can he explain that with this life? No, he cannot explain with this life. But if he had to go and examine, say, maybe 100 lifetimes, maybe he was a rishi somewhere, and he used to do that. So we never know. You know, because one of my mother, when my mother was passing away, there was a guru, there is a lady who was a guru, and she was doing the helping of people who are in the last stages of cancer and who are dying. She came and kind of met us, and she said that we never know who our parents are, because they can be maybe they were gurus, they were rishis in the past. No? So we never know who are there and what we are dealing with. And one of the things which happened was my mother died in a very auspicious time. My mother had kind of taken the Baha'i religion. She was a kind of what you call them, evangelist for Baha'i religion. She used to go to places, give teaching. She was a principal in the Baha'i school. So she was a Baha'i, but when she passed away on a day where they used to were installing the Kali this thing, the statues. That, on the auspicious day, auspicious time, she died. So we never know what she had karma and what in the past she has done. Because in many of the places you will find that in auspicious times, many people die. So they have something they know. They don't know as this person, but as the memories which are there, they know when to leave this body in the auspicious time. So we are never we can never underestimate ourselves itself. That what we have in terms of the attachments what we have, in terms of the powers which we have. So it reveals ourselves as we go along.
So you just said about how you were doing one-pointed for an extended amount of time and experienced no real progress, but you had this quite interesting, able to remain aware throughout sleep and things like that. And then afterwards, when you put in the 6 hours properly, you experience great progress. Can you just give us some sort of little example to counter the pretty interesting staying aware? See,
the progress means that how I was creating dukkha for myself. I used to work in a corporate setting, you know. I was working in Citibank. So there what happens is every 6 months there is a rating is there. Every year there is a promotion cycle is there. All this thing is too much stressful. Okay, then that I kind of wanted to get rid of. Okay, then I joined a startup. I said, okay, startup I'll go, and that would be a good thing. And that was also my ex-city banker. So he knew me and he hired me for the startup. Then I went and worked for that. That startup actually grew a little. They hired, say, maybe 3 or 4 people more. And then this office politics starts once again in this small organization also. So then I said that I cannot escape this. I want to take leave from this samsara and become a monk, you know. So I found out that Thailand had this opportunity of going and staying there and becoming a monk. So I went to Thailand. And you won't believe that office politics is there in a monastery also. So there was a big monk who came. He did not like my questioning him because I was very curious and I want to achieve awakening. I want to I am not doing this just to spend my time, you know. So I asked him some questions he did not like. Then there was a tradition in that monastery. If the senior monk come, the other kind of juniors go and sit with him and talk. Then they said that we have cancelled it. Okay, we have cancelled that sitting. So I went away to my kuti. After that, there were certain things which happened that I had to come back. So I came back. I may have forgotten something or something. And I realized that they were organizing and they were going to his kuti. So I just came to know that this happened. Then I know that what they are doing is that happens in an office. That you kind of honor some people, keep something people away. So I said there is no escape from this. So I really thought that by having this good kind of concentration, having experiences are not worth it. Then by kind of chance I heard a Sufi who was giving a talk. He said that when we start the practice with the aim of awakening. But in the way of awakening, we get all these great experiences and we forget about awakening and we start chasing these experiences. And I said, oh, this is happening to me. I have started chasing experiences. Okay, so I decided I would want to learn directly from Bhante, because by that time I had acquired a lot of audio tapes. I had asked my friend to post me the transcripts of the talks and all this. I have read a lot. So, but I did not try metta practice. I said I will have to try metta practice only with Bhante. Then I left the monastery. When I went over there and I experienced this, what happened is I realized how I was creating the dukkha myself. From that time onwards, my dukkha graph is going down, 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 down. So sometimes I feel guilty, you know. I am staying in a room. I have been provided food. I don't have to struggle. There is no annual promotions I have to worry about. Nothing. And I don't create trouble for myself. And I kind of feel guilty sometimes that, oh, wow, I'm having so much life, something bad is going to happen to me. So that is how I kind of gauge. I still have certain things which create my disturbances in my mind, but I have the tools for it. So that is what I want you to have. And I am here because of my gratitude to the teacher, to Bhante Vimal Ramsi. I could have gone to a forest monastery, which was my aim, because I came from a forest monastery. I was supposed to learn this meditation and go back. But I stayed back and said I will help, because I believed in this teaching. And I said it is a way of giving back to my teacher. That is the reason I came and started helping Sister Khema. And slowly we have done a lot of retreats for Bhante also in Malaysia, in India. So in this way I kind of contributed. Till Sister Khema was giving retreats, I was also not giving retreats, but she is not well. And over here also I came because of certain circumstances. So what we are doing is, we are understanding our mind, and by understanding our mind, our dukkha we are letting go. So as more and more understand of our mind is there, more and more you can give up the dukkha. So one of the things Sister Khema used to say is that nothing is happening to you, it is happening from you. And that is how you have to understand that why it is happening from you is the reaction is ours. Because the perception is there, it is ours. We are saying that I don't like it. We are saying I like it. So it is not happening to you, it is happening from you. So when you know how to react, then you can let go. And when you are able to let go, then more and more your mind will incline towards the wholesome. Okay?
I agree that sitting right, It's not in that kind of great work culture there.
No, I may be in the area. That may be my calm house.
Mixed with it. Yeah. So I can agree, but I think now you've moved out, you have all the tools now for meditation, many tools. Suppose we go back to city work again, can you change the culture?
I cannot change the culture, but I know for a fact that I would be behaving in a very different manner. But that is the trap. Okay? Because what happens is the mind creates this trap by saying that if I knew this, I would have done that. Okay? But if I actually had to go back, then I would have to say that I don't have these tools. At that time, I did not have these tools. And when I kind of acquired these tools, I look at this from that angle, and that cannot be the case that we can kind of 100% say it would have made a difference. But I can see many things which I have done at Citibank, because those memories do come up. And I did not have that memories for a long time, but after certain years, those memories did come back. Then those memories I could analyze that, oh, if I had this knowledge of this thing, if I had a knowledge of the impersonal nature of things, of the ignorance, how people work with their ignorance, and how people are kind of bound to their habits, how habitual tendency work, then I would have reacted very differently to many things. I would have done many things differently. But that all is a trap, actually. One thing I will tell you is that there are many monks in Vattvananachat who kind of came there, enjoyed this stay, and then they realized that, oh, I have no dukkha now. Because they were not in that circumstances. I have some tools which I can use. They have gone back. They have again realized that the samsara is giving them dukkha. They have again come back. One has done this 3 times. So there was one monk, he was a monk. He was from America. He was Ajahn Amaro's kind of right-hand monk. He was very tattooed and very big monk, you know, like he was very healthy. After coming to Thailand, he was given a lot of work, because Thai monks like to kind of build this and that. He was eating 1 meal a day. He lost a lot of weight. He was already muscular and he kind of looked great after some time. So he said, oh, I want to go back and try my luck with the samsara. He was in a biker gang or something like that. So he went back to these biker gang days. After 6 months, he's back. So that is how it works, you know. Certain times you may have the things, but samsara has much more complicated ways of giving you dukkha.
Diji, one question, one personal question. I will speak in Hindi. कहीं साल से मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि ऐसा मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है। तो आज आप बैठे हो गए थे, आपको मैं देख रहा हूँ तो आप काफी आप मैं नॉलेज मैं गेट कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं वेरी हैप्पी फॉर दैट। तो एक बात ऐसी है कि वन ऑफ सडन अंदर से मुझे महसूस हो जाता है और मैं भूल जाता हूँ। तो ऐसी एक वाकया हुआ है, हमारे फैमिली में एक लड़का था, उसका हार्ट में उसका होता, तो वो रहने की वजह से समाज का अंदर कोई भी लड़की रहने को तैयार नहीं शादी के लिए। तो अभी जैसे उसकी एज शादी की हो गई, उस लड़की के माता जी से वो वेरी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड थे, मेरे बेटे के साथ जो है ऐसा हो रहा है, मैं तो मेरी बेटी की शादी देखना चाहती हूँ। तो सभी को मालूम पड़ गया कि मेरी डॉक्टर ने बताया है कि 6 महीने से ज्यादा ये बचने वाला नहीं है। तो फिर अभी बहुत कोशिश किया, कोई देने को तैयार नहीं। उसमें हमारे फैमिली की एक हमारे बहन को पूछा गया था, लेकिन हमारे चाचा जी ने नहीं कहा उसको। फिर उन्होंने क्या किया, एक गरीब घर की लड़की के पास अप्रोच हुआ, उस लड़की को उन्होंने सब बातें बता दी। ऐसा लड़की की शादी करना चाहते हैं, लड़का ऐसा है, डॉक्टर को बता दे ये है। लेकिन माता जी की इच्छा है कि शादी होना चाहिए, उसके नजर के सामने माता जी भी थोड़ी बीमार है, ऐसा हो, तो गरीब जो लड़की के पिताजी ने उन्होंने हाँ कही है, क्योंकि वो फैमिली बहुत रिच फैमिली थी, एचडी इंजीनियर थे पिताजी, लड़के थे सब अच्छे थे, फैमिली दिया सर। तो स्टार्टिंग में अटेंड किया, जब मैं शादी अटेंड किया उस लड़की को देखा, जब मैंने फेस जब देखा उसका, मैंने तुरंत बोला कि ये लड़की इसको मरने नहीं दी, डोंट वाटर सर। आज उसको 2-3 बच्चे हैं, कई साल से अभी भी वो जिंदा है। तो मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि ऐसा क्यों मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है अचानक? अब मुझे
ऐसा हम नहीं,
तुम भविष्य का, मेरा भविष्य होता, मुझे जीरो नॉलेज है भविष्य का, आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग। अभी मैंने रिसेंटली मेरा जो भांजा है उसको मैंने बोल दिया है कि वो तकरीबन 7-8 साल से वो इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम में कोशिश कर रहा है, अच्छी प्रैक्टिस है, उसको हर प्लेयर उसको अच्छा बोलता है, लेकिन उसका सिलेक्शन नहीं हो रहा है। अभी वो केकेआर टीम के अंदर था, आईपीएल के अंदर, यानी साइड में था वो। तो मैंने उसको बोला कि जब तो आगे आने वाला साल है, लास्ट साल है, उसके बाद तो जिंदगी में क्रिकेट नहीं मिलेगा। तो अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ कि अभी जो कमी गियर का उसका होता ही नहीं होता है। तो ये ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है मेरे साथ?
ऐसा जैसे मैंने पहले भी बताया कि आपको जिस तरह से ये अनुभव हो रहे हैं उसका बात हम कह नहीं सकते। उसके लिए आपको 2 चीज़ है, आप अपना मेडिटेशन और अच्छा कीजिए और अपना भविष्य का जो जीवन है उसको देखने के आप सीखिए, उसको किस तरह देखा जाता था। वो लोग पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन बोलते हैं। पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन बहुत ही कॉमन चीज है। जो हिप्नोटिस्ट रहते हैं वो लोग भी पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन करते हैं। ओके, जो आपको आपके पूर्व जन्म के बारे में बता के आपको बता सकते हैं कि कब ऐसा हुआ। मगर जो बुद्ध है वो कहते हैं कि वो चीज नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि आपके बहुत सारे जन्म हो चुके हैं। ओके, अगर कोई को ऐसा कार्य दिया जाए, 4 भिक्षुओं को ऐसे कार्य दिया जाए कि एक दिन में वो 1 लाख अपने पूर्व जन्म देखे, हर एक अपने 1 लाख पूर्व जन्म देखते हैं, वो कार्य पूरा हर एक दिन करता है 100 साल तक, तो भी अपना जो कार्य है वो पूरा नहीं कर सकता है। सो इतने हमने जन्म लिए हैं, तो हमें पीछे के जन्म के बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि क्या हुआ। आपको आपके भविष्य के बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो भविष्य होगा, जो आज आप वर्तमान में करेंगे वही आपका भविष्य का निर्णय लेगा। तो इसी हिसाब से आपको जो है आपके वर्तमान पे ही ध्यान देना चाहिए। अगर ऐसा होता है तो ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। तो आप अपना जो अभी वर्तमान में कार्य नहीं, ऐसा नहीं। अगर जैसे मैंने कहा कि हम कह नहीं सकते कि आपका जो है भविष्य में क्या, मीन्स अतीत में क्या था। ओके, सो आप अपने हिसाब से अगर आपको जानना है, अगर आपको जिज्ञासा है, तो आप खुद ही मेडिटेशन में सीख के वो आपका जो भविष्य के अतीत के बारे में जो है वो आप जान सकते हैं। उसके लिए थोड़ा समय लगता है, थोड़ा आपको इसके अंदर अच्छा एडवांस करना चाहिए, जो आप कर रहे हैं एक्चुअल में, जो नॉर्मल से ज़्यादा आप अच्छा एडवांस कर रहे हैं, जो मैं देख रहा हूँ, तो वो अच्छा है, उस हिसाब से कीजिए, फिर देखिए आप खुद ही पता कर सकते हैं। Any other questions? Okay, then we will share the merits, and we have time to do sitting now. So till 10 you have to be over here and do as much as possible walking and sitting meditation. Okay? May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensations. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.